Imagine lining up every living thing on Earth, from bacteria to blue whales. Some are closely related, but others are so different that they seem almost alien. Today, we're not talking about the biggest, the deadliest, or the smartest. We're talking about the most different species that sit on lonely branches of the tree of life, with no close relatives and no substitutes. These organisms survived mass extinctions, rewrote the rules of biology, and in some cases haven't changed much for hundreds of millions of years. So, let's explore the 10 most evolutionarily distinct species on Earth, and why losing even one of them would erase an entire chapter of life's history. Horseshoe crab. Despite the name, horseshoe crabs are not crabs at all. They're more closely related to spiders and scorpions than to anything living in the ocean today. Their basic body plan has remained almost unchanged for over 450 million years, meaning they existed long before dinosaurs, trees, or even sharks. Even more remarkable is their blue blood, which contains copper instead of iron. This blood is so sensitive to bacteria that it's used worldwide to test the safety of vaccines and medical equipment. If horseshoe crabs disappeared, we wouldn't just lose a species, we'd lose one of the oldest surviving designs in animal history. Platypus. The platypus looks like someone stitched together parts from different animals. It has the bill of a duck, the tail of a beaver, lays eggs like a reptile, and produces milk like a mammal. It's part of a tiny group called monotremes, the earliest branch of mammals. Male platypuses even have venomous spurs on their hind legs, something no other mammal does. Even stranger, the platypus can sense electrical signals from its prey, a trait usually found in sharks. If evolution had a prototype phase, the platypus is one of its most successful experiments. Tuatara. The tuatara looks like a lizard, but it isn't one. It is the only living member of an entire reptile order, meaning its closest relatives went extinct over 250 million years ago. Tuataras have a unique skull structure, a slow metabolism, and even a third eye, a light-sensitive organ on top of their head, used for regulating biological rhythms. Found only in New Zealand, the tuatara represents an entire lost world of reptiles that once dominated Earth. Coelacanth. For decades, scientists believed the coelacanth was extinct, until one was caught alive in 1938. This ancient fish belongs to a group called lobe-finned fish, which are closer to the ancestors of land animals than to most modern fish. Its fins resemble primitive limbs, offering a glimpse into how vertebrates first began walking on land. Finding a living coelacanth was like discovering a dinosaur swimming in the ocean. Jellyfish. Jellyfish challenge our idea of what an animal even is. They have no brain, no heart, no bones, and yet they've survived for over 600 million years. Their nervous system is spread throughout their body, allowing them to move and hunt without centralized control. Some species are even biologically immortal, capable of reverting to a juvenile state after adulthood. Jellyfish prove that complexity isn't always necessary for survival. Axolotl. The axolotl is famous for one incredible ability: regeneration. It can regrow entire limbs, parts of its heart, spinal cord, and even sections of its brain, without scarring. Unlike most amphibians, axolotls never fully mature. They remain in a juvenile state their entire lives, a phenomenon called neoteny. Scientists study axolotls in hopes of unlocking future medical breakthroughs for humans. Ginkgo Tree. The ginkgo tree is the only living species in its entire plant division. Fossils show nearly identical ginkgo leaves from 200 million years ago. These trees survived ice ages, climate shifts, and even the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. Some ginkgo trees were among the first living things to regrow afterward. When you see a ginkgo, you're looking at a living fossil from the age of dinosaurs. Octopuses are unlike any other intelligent animal. Over half of their neurons are located in their arms, meaning each arm can think and react independently. They solve puzzles, use tools, escape locked containers, and even show signs of personality. Their ability to change color, texture, and shape instantly makes them masters of disguise. Some scientists believe octopus intelligence evolved completely independently from ours. Deinococcus radiodurans. This bacterium is known as the world's toughest microbe. It can survive radiation levels that would shred DNA in almost any other organism. Even when its genome is completely shattered, it can reassemble itself perfectly. It represents life at its most resilient and reminds us that bacteria are fundamentally different from complex organisms like animals and plants. Tardigrades, also called water bears, may be the toughest animals on Earth. They can survive the vacuum of space, extreme radiation, freezing temperatures, boiling heat, complete dehydration. They do this by entering a suspended state called cryptobiosis, essentially shutting down life processes. If Earth were destroyed, tardigrades might be among the last survivors. These species aren't just rare, they're irreplaceable. Each one represents an entire evolutionary path that exists nowhere else on Earth. When a species like this goes extinct, it's not just a loss of biodiversity, it's the loss of millions of years of history. If you enjoyed this journey through life's strangest survivors, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And comment below. Which species surprised you the most?